Hello friends and welcome back to episode 4 of I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but I'm converting a van into a camper van series. In today's video I will be finishing the floor. In the last episode I did all the battens for the floor, which I think have turned out pretty nice. They're all really secure and stuck down. Today I'm going to be adding the foam board and cutting the plywood. Last week after I did the battening I cut one foam board already, and this is what that looked like. Right, so we've just put the Kingspan insulation foam board in. The length of the board is 2,400 millimeters and the width is 1,200 millimeters, which is more or less the width of the van between the wheel arches. There's like a slight gap each side, but basically what I'm going to do is have a big rectangle here. I've just measured or just drawn a line where I want to cut it off using a combination of the combination square and the wood, and then I'm going to cut this into 3 parts to fit between the battens, and with this excess bit we can use that to go in all these like little gaps over there and so on. Okay, well that was a lot easier than I thought using the knife. Everyone was saying you should use some kind of, they were even saying kitchen knife, but I've just used the humble Stanley knife that's not even a real Stanley knife, and it's not the best cut ever. I mean, it's not fully cut, but I'll just snap that bit off. But yeah, pretty good. Right, so people weren't joking when they said this Kingspan is annoying to cut, because I've made an absolute snowstorm in here, on my trousers, even on my microphone, all over there. I tried to cut it with the Stanley knife there, and then also the kitchen knife. I might actually try the jigsaw tomorrow, but the first part is in. This is what I was talking about with the height, depth, width, whatever thickness of this is 35 millimeters, and then the ridges is 10 millimeters and the Kingspan is 25 millimeters. So 10 plus 25 equals 35, and then you can see like this is the Kingspan is resting on the ridges essentially, and it is like, you know, pretty flush. Like you can't get much more flush than that with the battens, and then I've just cut out the indent there. I don't know why I decided to do it in one, I just wanted to have a challenge, but that's the first part in. So as you can tell, that wasn't the easiest method, and it made a big mess, and I had to keep cutting again. So today what I'm doing is a bit of CAD, cardboard aided design, as we like to call it in the van build, and I'm making a template. So I've just got a cardboard box cut up, and then I've cut bits, you know, to fill in the gaps and whatnot, and around these battens that I've stuck down there. And then I'm just going to tape it and use this as a template and trace on the foam board, and I'm going to use my jigsaw for that and see how it goes, because I used the Stanley knife and I used the kitchen bread knife. Neither of them were really ideal, so I'll see how the jigsaw goes. Since you last saw me, I've actually got a workbench now. This is the Black & Decker Workmate 300. I think it's about 300 years old, but I picked it up for free. So I've actually got something to place my stuff on. That I've just cut, and you can see it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot straighter than with the Stanley knife or with the bloody stupid bread knife, but the only thing is it comes off like a bloody snowstorm, like really bobbly. But yeah, this is definitely my preferred method of cutting these boards. Oh man, I just thought I've finished cutting the foam boards because I've got all three parts for these long middle sections, but I forgot about these three sections, and I forgot about that bit and whatever I'm going to do here, and those two back bits. So yeah, I need to cut them. So for this space here, it's kind of an awkward shape because, like, well, that bit's quite rectangular, but then here we've got all these contours of the van. So you can use a scribing tool or contour gauge or whatever to make a template. Obviously I don't have any of them, so what I've done is I've just got this piece of cardboard here and this what is this, like the rip guard thing from my jigsaw, I don't even know what it's called, and I just put the pen there and use that pointy bit to kind of make like a guideline there, and I just trace that and cut this out, and like you know, that works very, very well. Oh, that was the easiest cut I've ever done. Oh, look at that, look at that. Can we zoom in on that? I mean, it's not gonna get any more perfect than that. That is absolutely beautiful. We just need to get something to fill the gap here. I might have just the thing. Oh, please tell me these bits fit. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. That is, I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. Okay, I'm just trying the same trickery as before, and then you just kind of do this, and the trick is to try and keep this part level, so don't be like going all like that, but just go wee. I don't know, it works for me. I am pretty happy with those two bits. And also I've got a nice template then from the cardboard or from those for later when I put the plywood down. Oh yes.
But this next part here I actually ended up taking out the foam board so I could give the van a proper clean and vacuum up all the snowstorm dust, as I like to call it. I then put the boards back in and I used the aluminium foil tape to seal up all the joints between the wood, timber and the boards. This is to ensure that the floor has a vapour barrier and nothing wet or damp will go below the floor and make any mould or rust.
Okay, so I've just laid my main bit of plywood floor in there. I've just cut it down from the 8x4, 8 foot by 4 foot, whatever measurements in centimetres, to fit in here. So the length of this is 191.5 centimetres. I can now sit and lay, and step and maybe not jump on the floor because the plywood is distributing the weight on the foam board. It's no longer like cracking below my weight. So all I'm going to do is use that leftover piece of plywood to go in these weird shapes, and for that I can reuse my template from the cardboard that I made, and also in this back corner this template I'm going to have to adjust because the plywood here is, I don't know, bigger than the foam board that I put down because it's also a bit higher up off the floor, so maybe the shape there has changed. Here is the remnants of that leftover plywood which I can still use part of for the extended floor if that's what I'm going to do. But that was an absolute pain to cut, but I've managed to do it. It's not perfect, but it's in there. It wasn't so much like this groove that was hard to cut, but it's just, so like it's not even a straight corner. It's like every little half a millimetre, what's smaller than a millimetre, micrometre, is different in this van. But I've managed to get it in. That one's in, that one's in, and yeah, this is the step thing that I might use the leftover plywood to extend over, and then I can use this as a cubby hole. I'm not too sure what I will do with that, so I'm just going to leave that for now. So if you see here, this is the total height of my floor. We've got the 35mm beam, and then underneath that you can see the foam board, which is 25mm, but resting on top of the 10mm ridges, and then on top of that is the 12mm plywood. So altogether the height of my floor from like the dipped bits in the floor van to the top of the plywood is 35 plus 12, which is 47. That took me too long to figure out. All I'm going to do on the floor, I can take these stupid glasses off, is I'm not too sure if I will sand it and varnish it and paint it and waterproof it, or most likely I'll just put like some vinyl over the top, and then of course I'm going to like glue and drill it down and seal all the gaps with the Sikaflex. I actually have a clear Sikaflex now, so that will be a lot neater looking than the poo Sikaflex that I had. And then all those, like these bits here in the corners that don't, that don't fit so well, it doesn't really matter because, like, one, I'm not going to be walking there and nobody's going to see it, so those bits are fine. Because this section here, my bed will go over that, so all I'm really going to be putting on this is like some storage boxes or something. And yeah, in the back corners, absolutely nothing will be going there really, you know. So that's fine. The main thing is the central part of the floor is all good and well, and I can fully extend and lay down. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here for the subfloor vlog, whatever episode we're on now, I don't know. I've learned that I need to get a lot better at using my jigsaw because everything is jaggedy. And what I said earlier about how I'm going to cut things a bit bigger, no, you shouldn't do that. You should just cut things properly the first time. What's that saying? Measure twice, cut once. Well, I end up like measuring loads and cutting loads, and yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. So that's all for today. In the next episode I will actually insulate the walls of the van properly, because the previous episode I did that, it was not how to do it. So I'll see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.